I want to start by showing you a fundamentally straightforward parameter tampering demo. And by doing this demo, we're actually going to cover a number of the concepts we've seen already, plus a few new ones as well. Now here's what I'm going to do. I am presently logged into this website. We can see Hello Troy there in the navigation bar. I'm going to click on View the GTR. And what you'll see here when I load up the GTR is that you've already voted for the GTR. I can't vote again. The whole premise of this application is that you can vote once. However, if I go back and then I scroll down and we view the Pagani's, there's one Pagani, it's the Wayera. We'll view that, and now we can see a vote button where we didn't have one before. So this is the access control in practice. If you voted for the car, no button. If you haven't, then you get the button. Now I'm going to click this button and send a vote in just a moment. But before I do that, I want to jump over to Fiddler. And Fiddler is an HTTP proxy. It's a very popular tool amongst software developers for debugging their applications. But Fiddler is also enormously useful for testing the security position of web applications. So here's how Fiddler works. When you fire it up, it will set your machine to begin proxying requests through it. All I need to do now is go down and start capturing by clicking in this bottom left-hand box. Now that it's capturing, I'm going to Alt-Tab over to the web application. I'm going to snap it over to the right side of the screen so we can see what happens in Fiddler just behind it. Now I'm going to click the vote button, leave a quick message, vote, and now we can see that request appear in Fiddler off to the left-hand side of the screen. Let me now jump back over to Fiddler, and I'm going to stop capturing because I don't want to see any other requests that the machine is generating that go out via the Fiddler proxy. Let's now go and take a look at this request I just captured. So I'm going to go up and select it, and then over to the right-hand side of the screen, we'll see the Inspector tab is highlighted. And the Inspector describes the request. Within Inspectors, we're on the Headers option at the moment, so we can see that it was a POST request to /API/vote. Now because it's a POST request, it's going to have a request body. So we can go over and look at the web forms here, and we'll see that there are three pieces of data sent in the request body: the user ID, the supercar ID, and the comments. And there's that nice comment I just entered. So what we're looking at here is exactly what was sent in that request. Now here's what I want to do. Let's jump back over to the web app for a moment. We can maximize that again. And if I reload the page just to confirm, we can see the text that says you've already voted for the Wayera. There are 4 votes of 21 total votes in the system. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see my comment there that says nice. And we can see that it was definitely me that made that comment. It's got my name attached to it. But let's do this. Let's play with a bit of parameter tampering and see if we can get someone else to vote for this car. So I'm going to switch back over to Fiddler, and I'm going to jump over to the Composer tab. I'm now going to grab that request that I made just before and drop it here into this Composer tab. Now down the bottom we can see the request body: user ID, supercar ID, and comments. I'd like to pick another user. Let's pick user number 10 instead. So I've just manually changed that parameter value. I have tampered with the parameter. And not only can I tamper with this parameter, I can also tamper with the comment as well. So let's make this very nice instead. Now there shouldn't be anything wrong with tampering with the comments. So comments are intended to be untrusted data. People should be able to enter their own. But tampering with the user ID is not something that you should be able to do. You shouldn't be able to vote on behalf of somebody else. Let's now go up and actually execute this request. We see it appear on the left-hand side of the screen, and now it's completed successfully. I'm going to Alt-Tab back over to the web application, F5 to reload, and now we see a new comment further down the screen from Nico Rosberg. Very nice. So Nico must be the person that owns user ID number 10. And by changing that ID to Nico's ID, so tampering with the untrusted data, I've just caused the application to do something that it is not intended to do. I have voted on behalf of somebody else. So this is a great example of parameter tampering. And not only does it show the ability to change parameters that are submitted to the web application and get it to do something that it's not intended to do, but we didn't even use the browser. We took that client out of the picture and we went to the Fiddler HTTP proxy and demonstrated how, at the end of the day, it's just an HTTP request. It doesn't matter which client submits it. If it's constructed in such a way that the web application recognizes it, you can submit it through to the server and cause it to do something that it wasn't designed to do. So that's an intro to parameter tampering. Let's now move on and start looking at different ways of tampering with parameters. And the next thing I want to look at is tampering with hidden fields.